The background reminds me of living in New York. Chaotic.
New York is trash.
Trash. Fucking terrible. Just all around a mess of a state.
I'm slightly ashamed of this project.
Vibe presents A Friend with Issues.
And welcome back to another episode of A Friend with Issues, the limited podcast series where I bring on a friend every week to discuss an issue that makes their ash itch, or pisses them off, or they got a vent about, or that they're just Joed about. I don't know. So today with me is Joe, good friend of mine, best friend of mine. Before we get to today's topic, Joe, tell us how we know each other.
Oh man. Okay, I'll sum it up in like a paragraph, I guess. I was about to say a sentence, but I was like really bad.
Yeah, sentence works.
No, sentences. No, it would have to be like a
Work
autobi-
together.
like a
Bam.
book. A book. We our first job together was I say back when we were like, we were in high school. Was I in high school? I think you were in high
Maybe you
school.
were in high school. I know I was a freshman or a sophomore in college.
I may
It
have
was
been.
freshman.
Yes, actually, yeah, it may have been. I was in high school. So I remember me and Owen were still.
Actually, it was the summer
back and
before
forth.
is when I graduated. But I think I met you when I was a freshman. Yes.
Yeah, so I was. Let's just say I was relatively young, younger than I look now. And we used to work with each other at this place called Silver Gull Beach Club,
Yes.
which was a
Crazy
huge.
Queens. What?
Yeah, I think it was like, now that I think about it, it was like a resort in Queens.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a
Yeah.
beach club. It's a exclusive beach club.
No one goes to those shits anymore. Anyway, so we worked together at this beach club, and
Air quotes. You guys don't see it if you're not watching these air quotes.
and Jay was the cook, the lead cook.
I was no lead cook. What was I? Was I the fry cook? I was a fry cook when you were there?
You were the fry cook.
I was working deli.
Yeah, no, fry. You were doing both.
I was doing both. I was doing
both.
deli.
This
and
man,
the fry cook. Yes.
this man right here was doing both the deli and the grill.
Yeah, deli and the grill.
He was manning both stations.
Yeah.
So we met over there. We clicked at the job, but for some reason this man did not like me after the job.
I didn't click with him on the job at all.
I clicked with him. I thought he was cool as shit. I thought
I
he
couldn't
was.
stand this guy.
I didn't like his mustache.
He had oh fuck you, man. He had Joe here had bleach blonde hair, and he just had this like stupid ass swag about him that I couldn't stand. Like
It was streaks. First of all, it was streaks.
It was bleach
streaks.
motherfucking blonde. I don't know what you want to say. And I just thought he was. I thought he was. I didn't hate him. I didn't think he was a bad guy. I just think he was the single most annoying person I had ever met at that time.
It's pretty fucked up.
But he was good friends with the two Mikes that I knew, and I had liked them. And back then, I was like, okay, well, if people that I like associate with somebody, I have to assume they're a good person. So I tolerated Joe for years, but I don't know what happened, man. It's a testament to how people grow on you. Where Joe is literally the people that I originally met him through, I barely even speak to or don't speak to at all anymore. And Joe then became a best friend. He is my best friend. He's like the only person that I make a habit of seeing.
I'm literally the OG.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And if I find it to be really odd, because I'm telling you, even if me, older, chunkier guy, went back into time to that lean, sexy, mustachioed goddess,
oh god,
or god, I went to him and said, listen, see that guy there, he's gonna be literally the bestest friend you ever had. So just like treat him right. And I look at myself and be like, fuck you, what are you talking about? he's gonna be nobody, he's gonna be gone. So yes, so it was great. So yeah, this man right here is the truth, basically. When a friendships comes, it's the truth. And it's funny because the universe put us together to commiserate with each other as we go through similar things. And I cannot confirm or deny that we're trying to relocate to a different state. Can I confirm or deny that?
let me just say that out of the 5 or 6 or so really close friends that I'm sorry, 5 friends that I have up here in
Mhm.
New York, this man still reigns like number one on the list
It's true.
because of our history,
Mhm.
our experience together, our longevity. Like
Yeah.
there's no there's no
Yeah,
one there's no one
can't,
no one
uh,
else.
you can't write a friendship better than this. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what true friendship is what you see here. Even with the the negging on each other. That's part of the fun of it. So with that being said, Joe, after we're done jerking each other off, what what is bugging you? What are you here to vent about? What is your issues?
So okay, this is gonna make you laugh, Jay. I
Anything you
stole
say
I
makes me
I,
laugh.
s- I st-
Joe was like, Jay, I got engaged, and I started laughing. Sorry.
oh big F you. So the background that I chose and for people who are listening who can't see it, it's basically Rick's garage at Morty's house. And
So this is Rick
if
and
you
Morty and Adult Swim
yes. So
show.
if you've ever seen the show, you'll notice that Rick's garage in certain I guess episodes looks like garbage, trash.
Yes.
There's shit all over the place.
Right.
Not organized, just crap. And I got this background because I figured it'd go well with the topic that we were going to talk about. So, what bugs me the most, and Jason probably already knows this already, the moment I'm going to talk about it or mention the whole topic name, is the background reminds me of living in New York. Chaotic, chaotic,
New York is trash.
trash, fucking terrible. Just all around a mess of a state, or I should say city, because I don't live in actual New York
Right.
State. I live in the city. So yes, this is the reason why I chose the background. And I know it may not correlate with New York City itself, but to me, in
Right.
my eyes, considering I've been here 34 years, I can tell you this background fits perfectly to the T. So
Okay, so your issue
living here is my
is
issue.
you're living in New York
Living in New York is my
or
issue.
NYC.
Yeah.
That's your issue. So okay,
Yes.
so all right, fine. It's funny because episodes ago, episode one, the first one, Ralph, he couldn't stand people who, and he specifically said New Yorkers too, who moved to Florida and complain about living in Florida, but you're still living here. So I'm gonna flip this on you. You're complaining about living in New York, but you're still living in New York. So what about New York? Can't you stand? And then it's a compound question. Why haven't you left yet then? So there we go. First, what about New York? And you can list everything as many as you want. What about living in New York? Can't you stand? It makes you so miserable. And then you're going to answer the question, then why are you still there?
So okay. Again, I was born and raised here in Brooklyn, New York.
Flatbush.
Utica, Utica.
Utica.
I, I was when I was younger growing up, I've had the opportunity, luckily in my early 20s and late teens, to go ahead and explore the Manhattan, New York City. It's Manhattan, the way I wanted to.
Right.
Not necessarily what most people my age or guys my age would probably do. But I was a family oriented, but I wasn't that family oriented. I was able to go and do things that I wanted to do freely, so I was
Right.
always out. Explored Brooklyn, explored Manhattan. 14th Street, Union Square, Manhattan was like my second home in my early 20s. That's how much I was there.
Right.
So I pretty much have seen it all in regards to places. I know things change as you get older and locations change and they build new things and blah, blah, blah. But it's just something about here that makes me want to throw up in my mouth. Um, um,
God damn.
and
I
I
think I
say
said
that
goddamn a lot recently. I mean,
I
goddamn.
I say that for lack of a better term because of the fact that Brooklyn is a place where no matter where I move, Texas, it will always be in my heart. However, there's just something about it that I grew tired of. The lasting impression that I thought it was gonna have on me as I got older just is not there no more, and I feel like being someplace new will open up a lot more doors for me in every aspect and every category than it would over here.
But the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Take for instance, I left New York
Yeah.
at 19 and officially got myself stuck at 20, and I couldn't get back. Not
Got
saying that I want to get back, but here's what I'm trying to say. Again, and if you want to know why I got stuck, you got to listen to episode 1. But I don't like living in Florida. If I had a choice, I'd go back to New York. You know what I'm saying? For me, there was better opportunities. For me, there's public transportation. For me, it's just where I feel most comfortable, or where I probably succeed the most. Down here, it's I'm going through the motions. But so with that being said, I know you can't stand New York, but there's got to be some redeeming quality. You're still there 34 years later. Why?
Okay, that's true. There is multiple reasons why I'm still here. Well, actually, no, I'm lying. Maybe even two. One is because I'm now engaged happily, and
Well,
you
that's
know,
fairly recent. I live 34 years.
my
I'm just saying.
yeah, my decision is not solely 100% on my own anymore, because I can tell you right off the bat, considering my newfound like, I don't know if you want to call it revelation when it comes to looking for
Like
career.
Vibe Revelation Studios.
Uh,
Sorry.
so I you missed it. I went like this. I went.
You're a sweet guy. You're a sweet guy.
Thank you. Yeah. So me having discovered last year, actually, which is kind of like too late, but I discovered that the career field that I wanted to be in has a lot more opportunities in other states
Okay. All
than
right.
it was over here. If I would have known that in my younger years, in my 20s, I would have probably applied for as many as I can, like I'm doing right now,
Of
and
course.
then took that leap of faith and went. I guess I just became complacent over here, which is what I didn't want to do, and it's something that I know most New
Exactly.
Yorkers do.
Getting
They
stuck and
become
comfortable.
complacent
Mhm.
in especially in this city, because they lock you down terribly. And what I mean by locking you down terribly is that we can go into schematics and politics about it, but New York is not what it used to be back in the day. Everybody, the baby boomers that you speak with, the ones that are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, will tell you this right now, that New York is falling apart. It has been falling apart. It's not for the middle or lower class no more. It is
Okay.
completely and utterly for the rich and higher upper elites. If you don't believe me, just go to fucking Upper West Side and you'll walk around and see for yourself. Go into one of the buildings in Upper West Side in the 50s and 60s streets and ask the doorman, how much is it for a 2-bedroom apartment? And if he tells you anything less than 3,000, then you probably are dreaming.
Wow.
So
I mean,
things,
it is very expensive. I know that in New York. I mean, that's a given.
it's way too,
But
it's overly
but is it?
priced.
You're saying it's worse?
It is worse, and the opportunities are, like you said before. You mentioned earlier that you kind of got stuck in Florida over there, and your opportunities wouldn't have been there as much as New York has. But now, as of right now,
Hmm.
opportunities right now in New York, from what I'm seeing and hearing, I mean, they can be on par with like getting opportunities in California. I mean, they're on the same level. It's high, but I mean, I've heard a lot of testimonials from people that saying that the opportunities are kind of dwindling
Well,
for
of
them.
course, I'm talking about like 2004 or 5 kind of thing.
Way better, more
I'm not
opportunities.
I'm not at all thinking that, because as you know, as we discuss relocation, you never heard me once say I'm returning to New York. No, it never came up. It's
Yeah,
California,
yeah.
it's Texas. So no, I know. I visited enough times to realize I don't want to live here either
And
anymore. But
there's just it's I don't know what it is, bro. It's just like a feeling that I've gotten since last year, early last year, like January.
right.
It just hit me. It was like, this place is not the place where I want to be no more. The city is not the city I want to live in, and I want to like stay in for the rest of my life. I know I have people here who are extremely close to me, but as anywhere in the world, all you have to do is hop on a plane and get there, and you're there in a couple of hours flat.
Yep, it's true.
It's not that big of a deal to me. Flying is not that big of a deal. I don't hate it. I don't dread it, but it's easy to get to point A to point B. If you want to visit family that you have in another state, it's not that fucking difficult. Save up money or whatever if you have a job, and just buy the ticket and go. Even get a one way and stay with your family if you have the time off, and come back when you're ready, when you're able to. But I just it's just an underwhelming, like, it's just a really weird feeling I have living here in New York for the past like 2 years already, and it's like
Right.
it's
But you haven't
bothering me.
but you haven't like really touched on it. Okay, fine. So you've had a fiance for what, 4 years now? You've been with
4
her for
years,
4 years? Okay,
yeah.
I can't believe I know that. So that's so out of the 34 years, you've accounted for 4 of the years while you're still in New York. You have a whole 30 years, right? Let's say at 18 is when you had a choice. That's 12 years, okay,
Of not going anywhere.
of not going anywhere. So what kept you there in 12 years? Because I'm sure in those 12 years, your discontent, your malcontent for living there rose. And how old is your son?
Gradually, he's 11 now. He'll be 12 in August.
Well, then of course, technically you had a year before you got trapped there. Okay,
Yeah,
so besides your, I mean,
yeah.
besides your son, because that's why I was trapped in Florida, because I procreated twice. Besides your son, what else kept you stuck in New York?
I guess it wasn't the urge, like the urge that I have now to
hmm
leave. It wasn't there
Okay,
back then.
can you
Like,
pinpoint how long ago the feeling of wanting to leave started?
oof, yeah. Would it be in 2021? I was like 2019, like
Okay,
late 2019 is when I
okay,
started realizing, like,
so the urge is fairly recent then.
yeah,
Okay,
because I
so
started looking for positions in my field, regrettably in California, because I was like, oh yeah, the San
right,
Jose, they pay nice, they pay well, not knowing that when I looked at the housing market and the apartment market over there, it was like, oh, wait a minute, this is even worse than New York. Yeah,
oh yeah, which is why I
I will
stopped talking about.
Silicon Valley. No, man, I'm not. No, that's one of the places in this country that if you really don't like make 6 7 figures, the chances of you having a comfortable life over there is very very slim. And the same thing, like I said, applies for over here in New York. It's even Brooklyn downtown. You've been in downtown Brooklyn the last time you were
Yeah,
here.
recently, yeah.
Yeah, man, it's the more further downtown you get, the more you'll see that they're kind of inching it closer and closer to making it a full Manhattan island, instead of
Mm,
like you can see. I'm not even talking about gentrification or that bullshit. I'm
right,
talking about like just straight changing and creating more expensive buildings for people
right.
who clearly the majority of people in Brooklyn are not
Bro,
wealthy.
you listen, on East 21st Street, on my the apartment, my home apartment, there was this piece of real estate, whatever, where for, I mean, 2 decades it was just steel beams sitting there forever. Nobody completed the project. I went up just the other day, and now they're finally completing the project. And what they showed, the
Yeah,
kind of building they're building, mind you, on my block, is so modern looking, so expensive looking.
yeah,
I looked at my mom and said, who is this for? This building is going to stick out like a sore thumb.
yep.
Mind you, Brooklyn, East 21st and Albemarle, right between Albemarle and Church Avenue. This new building looks like something you'd see in Tony Stark's backyard, okay? And I'm like,
Yeah.
who's going to live there?
Actually, I've seen
Who's,
that building too.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
who is that for? I'm like, when I say it's gonna look so weird, I mean it's like parking a Bentley around a bunch of Toyota Tercels from 1995.
Yeah.
That's what it's like, putting it smack dab in the middle. Who is this for? And I was just like, I don't know, I don't like that. I
Yeah,
don't like where that's going.
yeah. It's
So
it's
it's the
it's
weirdest
more of
thing.
those. Yeah, more and more of those are popping up, and it even though it's pretty good for people who want to like experience Brooklyn, New York from out of state, like people in like North Dakota or Kansas, whatever,
Right.
they want to go to school in New York and they
You want
want
to
to
go
live
to the
there.
thick of things? You want to see the real Brooklyn, the real New York?
Yeah, that's what
There's
I'm
your
saying.
spot
Like
right there.
they get all happy and excited and gritty and like, oh shit, yeah, we can go move to Brooklyn and get live in one of those fucking apartments that you just uh, uh, uh mentioned just now, Jay. So like this is what they This is what they typically do. And I don't have a problem with that because you're coming from another state wanting to experience this state.
Right.
And the city, I should say. That's fine. It's cool. But for someone like me who I just have lost the feeling. My heart is not in it no more.
Yeah, you lost the
Not.
loving feeling, and
It's not here no more. You know, and especially because of the fact that I moved a lot in Brooklyn. Even with my family back in the day, we moved a lot. But as I got older, I moved out. In the first place I moved out, I had to be in my middle, I think it was my middle 20s. Middle 20s, I moved out, but I had gotten a roommate though. So
Right.
every place that I have gotten, now look, this is the part where I kind of not ashamed to say it, but I will say it anyway. Every single place that I have gotten so far has been with the roommate. Yeah, with the roommate. And
So you've never experienced your own personal space?
I've had my personal space where it was like, bedroom, living room, kitchen, all mine, but I had to share like one thing, which was the bathroom.
That's not personal
So
space though, bro.
exactly, it's not personal space, and that was for 2 apartments though. That
So
was for 2.
maybe is it possible that the reason why you don't have any fond, loving feelings of New York City is because you've never actually lived in New York City with your own personal space to make your own personal space in New York your own? Is it possible? Because I mean, you went from 2 roommates to a living fiance, and you know, knock on wood, as long as nothing happens, that's going to be your future right there. So you will have gotten into a marriage and living with your future wife, but never knowing what it's like to be to have your own space ever. You'll
Yeah.
never have known that.
Have
know,
we just solved the fucking Rubik's Cube just
it's
now?
possible. Let's tell you right now, the happiest I was in Florida is when my brother, episode 3, moved out from my apartment, and I had that place to myself for a couple of years on my own. No marriage. It was a lovely, spacious 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and my kids at the time were only with me half the time. So half the time it was like 3/4 dark. It was just me in some area, but it was still coming home to my own space, and I was content, dare I say, happy, knowing that I was coming home to my own space. I was in charge, and it kind of made things a little easier. I still didn't like Florida, but at least I had
Yeah.
my own space. I think maybe you should put your engagement on hold for about a year, take a sabbatical, get your own space, and reignite the love and feeling. How about
I don't.
that?
It's funny. I don't think sabbatical is even a word that exists in this
No,
environment. No,
definitely not.
absolutely not. I don't think anybody has heard that type of word in this environment. So I think, even though you're joking,
Well,
I think that's a.
I mean,
I think that's a great fucking idea, though. Like, imagine just saying that out of nowhere.
yeah,
Like,
just
you know what? I think I want to take a sabbatical. I'm gonna go look for in Zillow.
I gotta go find
Julia.
myself, okay?
Yeah.
But I'll be back. Just
I'm
wait-
gonna go to
wait for me.
apartments.com.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, and then goodbye. Take
Maybe
all your
goodbye.
shit.
I
Get the
know,
fuck out.
no. I think as long as you're mature enough, you explain. Listen, I need my own space for a little bit. Just to get my mind right. It's not over. We can go back to like dating, or whatever. But I can't right now. I need. I think it would work out. It's maturity. It's a little bit of maturity.
Listen,
Understanding.
God given that we are going to embark, for the viewers listening, we are embarking, myself and this fabulous man right here on
Fabulous.
on the left, on my left.
I don't know if I'm okay.
Is my left?
I see. I don't see. The way I have mine set up, you're above me.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know
So,
when this recording is taken down.
Also,
I don't know.
on this guy, I'm
But-
pointing to my dick though.
Right. Well, I mean, allegedly. I mean, you have one. I just don't know how. I've heard stories. Anyway, moving on.
This guy down here, right, and I are
This
going to
dude.
be embarking on a journey, coming soon in March, which we are in March. But
Yes.
in coming soon, meaning like 2 weeks.
as in like 2 weeks. As in like 2 weeks, if we find some place to stay.
No, we already got. We'll talk about that after. Oh, fair. I got that.
Okay.
But yes, we're embarking on a journey which might lead us to
Our
changing
destiny.
that and changing our environments for an
Yes.
extremely long time, which will hopefully bring us much more happiness than we have encountered in both the states that we currently live
I
in.
think at this point we're both desperate for change.
I'm fucking
That
desperate
that
as
e-
fuck.
that
You don't
even
even understand. I
that
am
even
ready
if
to.
even if it's still bad, it'd be at least be different bad. At this point, I'm like, listen, even if the grass isn't greener, at least it's different grass. You know, that's where I am right now. That's how desperate for change I
Listen,
am.
put me
So
in a fucking box over there. I will
mhm,
make it work. I don't care because
exactly.
I
And you
don't
know
care.
that's true friendship when you got two friends thinking about trying to figure out how to relocate to a different state with each other. You
I
know,
literally said I brought up the idea and I was like, dude, why don't you? This is the first person I told
mhm,
because he's the only person I know out of my core friends
mhm,
that doesn't particularly like the state that he lives in and doesn't
right,
particularly like the job that he has
and
and
isn't
wants to change
shady.
and isn't right that 100% and wants to change both of the three but yeah, both of those things. And he's the only person I know who wants to do that. So I was like, look, why don't we
Yeah.
try to make this happen and make
And
it
I said,
work?
absolutely. I said that it seems
Fuck
it's
it.
right. What's the worst that can happen? You know, just let's try. So, you know,
So listen, fingers fucking crossed,
well,
bro.
yeah.
I
We
am
actually have a podcast. Those who don't know, we have our own podcast called Last of the Nice Guys.
uh-huh.
We will definitely be chronicle. If you want to know more about this trip to Texas and what happens in those 5 days that we're there when he goes up for his things and I go for my interviews, by all means, follow us on the Last of the Nice Guys.
We'll be recording over there
Yeah, we
too.
will be recording over
Yeah.
there. We'll probably do a whole like vlog thing over there, but we're also going to
Yeah.
do some episodes. So if you want to know more about this, by all means, check out Last of the Nice Guys.
Check
It's
it
literally
out.
what it is, Last of the Nice Guys.
Yes. Check it out.
We you know, in 2 or 3 weeks, we'll definitely start talking about it. And it'll be very interesting. Very, very, very interesting.
It will. It will. It's gonna be a fucking. It's not gonna be a shit show because we're both gonna be able. I'm positive that what I'm going for is gonna work out perfectly fine.
Yes.
I
And,
mean,
and I'm cautiously optimistic about what I'm going for is going to work out perfectly fine. At the
this
very
man
least,
got a good fucking deal.
at the very least, my ego has been elevated to even if I'm dead serious, even if I don't get this opportunity, and it's fine, okay, it is already satisfied what I needed. It gave me pride in myself, pride in my craft,
Right.
you know, and that's what I needed for to go forward. So trust me, the best thing I got was that interview on the phone,
Exactly.
and I was like, oh my
Exactly.
god. And the fact
Yes.
that I left there feeling as good as I did, the fact that they're willing to take a chance on me to send me, you know, what's it called? Evaluations to fill out. Yeah, I was like, you know what?
Assessments. Right.
Assessments.
Assessments. Yeah.
You're taking more of a risk and respecting me more than the people that down here. That's enough for me. That means that I know I'm on the right path. So
100%.
that's great. So before we wrap up, Mr. Joe, I have to ask: is there nothing you can do to make New York more palatable for you? There's nothing you can do that can make you change your mind and stick it out.
Let's just put it this way: if I won the Mega Millions tomorrow morning,
Mhm.
and I won that shit, and I was like, wow, I got all this fucking money, I would still
Mhm.
not buy a house in New York.
Yeah.
There would be I wouldn't even go upstate where my father lives in the luscious mountains and greenest
The
forest
luscious mountains.
you can ever be in. It's beautiful up there. It's fucking serene. It's just perfect. It's perfect. However, still wouldn't. I still would not. There would be nothing that would bring me want me to come. There would nothing here that would have me being like, oh my god, I need to stay because I've seen and done everything, and I and
Listen to Last of the Nice Guys.
and there's nothing that's gonna. The only thing that I have over here, in which I will see all the time, are my friends and my mother. That is it. Two things that will keep me. Sorry, two things that will keep me coming back here all the time. All the time.
Well, of
Will
course. I
be those
mean,
two
that's
things.
what brings me back. I
And
have
that's all I
family.
need. Sometimes you need to get away from certain things
Yeah,
or
of course.
people to miss them and appreciate them.
And that's exactly right. The absence, separation anxiety is something real, you know what I'm saying? And that's true. You would appreciate people more because that's part of the thing. I mean, you have to admit, you and I became better friends when I really couldn't come back to New York very often.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. Now,
Yeah.
now I wish this guy was next door all the time because, you know, I miss him so much when he's not around. But but it's true. I agree. I totally believe that distance actually did make a huge impact
difference.
on our
Yeah.
friendship, because he stuck around while those who I thought were the real friends, who I thought were the bee's knees, did not stick around or disappeared or faded away. So
I came down there for a bachelor party that was, in my opinion,
I still can't believe you did that.
I can't believe I did it
Listen,
either.
I was so hard up for getting people to come to this this guy's bachelor party that I said, hey, listen, Joe, you wouldn't by any chance be willing to fly down and just like come hang out at this bachelor party? Oh yeah, I'm right there. Are you serious? Yeah, I booked the flight. I'm good. Dude came down for a stranger's bachelor party to hang with me because I had trouble locking down people to come.
It was,
you know,
it was the funniest shit.
and
I'm so glad I came to that
interesting.
thing. I'm so glad I came to that. You don't
Yeah.
understand. That was so fucking funny.
Yeah, it was
I don't,
funny.
it's enough said. I have.
Enough said.
My God.
Well, before we wrap it up, final thoughts, Joe, about living in New York City.
I can't wait to leave. I am looking forward to leaving. I'm looking forward to starting a new life outside of the city. It's been great. I've had fond memories. It's been fantastic. I'm sick of the seasons. Even though people
You'll miss
who
the
live,
seasons.
right. I was about to say, even though people that live in Florida are like, I miss them. However,
yeah, you miss you. If you get fun in the sun all year round, and all it is hot or muggy or
Yeah.
hot or
well,
rainy,
make sure
You do miss it.
make sure if you don't get the same crap that they got in Texas, unfortunately, with that whole storm and snow.
Right,
Because dealing with that
from
shit.
Harp, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, from Harp. Another from Harp. another fucking
That's
mystery.
right. Another mystery.
But yeah, like I nothing can right now in my life, nothing can stop me from doing what I want to do in terms of leaving here.
That's good.
I'm going full fucking throttle, man. That's it.
Go full throttle, son. All right. Well, I'm Vibe, and that's Joe. Thanks for tuning in to A Friend with Issues, a limited series podcast. And remember, listen to everything, but believe only what you can prove.
Got something to say? Email friendswithissues@gmail.com. This is an audio production of Vibe Revelation Studios, the cure for your common day. VibeRevStudios.com.